What's up, guys? Kevin here from Relax Learn Guitar. If you are looking for the place to learn how to play the guitar with some easy to follow lessons, you're in the right place because you're never too old to learn here at Relax Learn Guitar, where I help folks over 40 play the songs they love. I apologize in advance because you may hear from our mascot, Maggie May. She is standing guard here at the end of the couch and may make noises if people or dogs walk by. So just letting you know. A question from a member at the Relax Learn Guitar community that I lead, and that person, her name is Anne, and she was questioning me about a particular skill that's really important. It's how to pick individual strings kind of in between strumming. So like playing melody or arpeggios, and mixing that into your playing so you're not just always strumming all the time. And this is a big one because once you kind of figure this piece out, it really opens up what you're able to do. So I remember, playing as a youngster and lots of strumming, and when I kind of had the light bulb go off about, oh, I can do this in between these strums and pick these melodies, it really makes a difference in your playing. So stick around as we learn that. Before we get started, just like to thank you guys for your support and for subscribing here at the Relax Learn Guitar YouTube channel. So let's talk about the mechanics first. So, okay, please. And we're back. Pardon that momentary interruption. So, what I was talking about was breaking down how things look when you are strumming versus when you're picking individual notes in between strums. So when you look at what's happening when you're strumming a guitar, your elbow's moving a lot. Not a lot, but I mean your elbow's moving. Your wrist is a little bit out from the guitar. Obviously, because it doesn't want to get kind of hung up and not be able to strum. And when you're picking notes, your wrist is actually going to be resting on either the strings or maybe the bridge of your guitar. I just want to show you a common mistake that beginners make, and we're going to do a little close-up so I can show you what I'm talking about. So I wanted to get a little close-up here to show you what I'm talking about, because something I see beginners do a lot, which maybe kind of hampers their playing, is when I was talking about strumming your guitar, now your elbow's moving and your wrist is a little further out from the guitar. And then when you're picking individual notes, you're, a lot of times I'll leave my palm or the kind of outside of my palm resting here on the bridge or the bridge pins of the guitar. And that allows me to have some control and be close to those strings. What I see folks doing more so often is kind of this. They'll hold their pick and they'll, they want to put their wrist out away from them and pick the individual strings like this, kind of the same way or even more of an exaggerated way when they're strumming. And a couple things happen when you don't put your wrist closer to your guitar and rest it. If you're leaving your wrist sticking out like this, your hand's kind of floating around in space. There's nowhere for it to kind of keep track of where it is, and you might have some issues with knowing which strings or losing track of where you are. Now, when you bring your wrist closer into you, you have to have some more control there, and that's what bringing it in helps with. So I can move up and down, play the high strings and the low strings, and my wrist kind of rests here and pivots, and I can keep track of where my hand is that way. And when I need to strum, I can just lift my wrist up. When I need to pick, I kind of rest it back down here. You can mix in some individual picking or melody, arpeggios, whatever you want to call it, with your strums. Now I'm also going to leave a lesson up above. You click the link about guitar picks and how not to drop them. So a lot of things I'll see beginners do as well is kind of the way they're gripping or holding their pick might lead to them dropping their pick and losing track of it more often. So definitely check that lesson out too. That's a topic that warrants an entire new lesson. And then when you're resting your hand or your wrist on your bridge, kind of a tip there is you don't want to bring it too far up unless you're going for a palm muted sound. You want to make sure that you can let the strings ring out. So you get a nice sustain there. And then the other question I'll get is like, well, what about picking more than one string at a time? You know, if you're doing some kind of lead here or rhythm with the lower strings. It's the same concept, you're just going a little bit further down so you get two strings when you strike them instead of one. And the other thing that is pretty cool with all of this is you can actually change the tone of your guitar with the types of pick that you use. So check out the link above for a lesson there and enjoy that. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching and checking out Relax on Guitar, and I'll see you guys for the next lesson.